Hello. Sorry it took me so long to upload. These drawings take a while to make. I'm sorry if I sound a little bit high-breathed. I'm a bit nervous. So, for Celestials episode 9, Withered and Frozen, we are going to start off the episode with a car chase scene. So if you remember from the last episode, we had the demons that were trying to get through the portal to Earth from Malek's army, but they didn't succeed. But they can still go back and forth in smaller groups through magic mirrors. So essentially, we would get pulled straight into the action, and we would see Inferno and the gang chasing a car with like demons, how do you say it, like magically disguised as like sort of humans. And I think this would be a really cool action scene. Because all the main cast characters could use their powers in unison to get rid of multiple cars, and essentially I think the way it would start is that Inferno would maybe go for the first few kills, and then they would later probably save a few of the demons to ask them some questions about like how to track everything back, right? So I'm thinking Inferno would probably just bomb the first like car they're chasing, like how do you say it, like a wagon with like a like a truck with space on the back to fit stuff inside, and they would probably be smuggling like weapons and drugs or something, just like bad stuff, but mostly weapons probably, or like materials to create weapons so that they could use that for their army. And yeah, I think Inferno would just use his arm and just charge up just a giant like fire shot and just blow up the first truck. Then that one would fly behind, and they would kind of pick off each of the trucks and the cars one by one. So you can kind of imagine how cool this would be to see like Inferno using his fire, then like Air Force like using his super speed and like air control to just like fly truck in the air and just like beat them immediately. And there would also be some things more on the defensive side, like Shroom Smash, for example, because these demons are actually pretty dangerous. He would, for example, jump into action with his mushroom hammer, right? So to sort of revise your memory, Shroom Smash can create like mushroom minions, and he can also smash and dash really hard with his mushroom hammer, and have like nature healing powers and stuff. So I think it'd be really funny to see Shrooms. Sorry, my pronunciation is a bit off. I think it would be really funny to see Shroom Smash sort of just jumping at another truck and then making sure it falls over, and then like immediately calling in Air Force or Noah Corrales to make like an air shield or something to protect him from bullets that maybe the demons would shoot at him. And essentially the mission would be a success, and they would ask some of the last surviving demons some things. I haven't fully thought it out yet what exactly they would ask, right? But maybe it could have to do with the further plot of this episode, actually. Maybe they could ask them stuff about where their next attack is about to be or something. And then that could lead into the rest of this episode. Yeah, like I said, it's kind of just a concept. If you have some ideas, you could leave some in the comments, right? So after this, they would probably go and investigate together. Like they would join Lucas and some of the others, like smarter investigating people at the Hero Force, and maybe over lunch break they would talk about everything and like where they should go next. And this is essentially where the next part of the episode would begin. So they would get an alarm from a winter town a bit further away in Belgium. And then essentially they would teleport here with their hero crystals, and there would be this big attack of like withered skeletons, kind of like the wither skeletons from Minecraft, sort of. But I'm not gonna spoil too much yet. But there's more to come for the next few episodes. I'm trying to keep the writing as good as I can because I'm not a professional, but I'm trying to keep things interesting here. So essentially they would get the warning call that this snowy town is being attacked by like these like dark magic withered skeletons, and the villains, well, not necessarily villain force, I think I would call them like the Bokkenpotten or something, like give them some sort of like villain organization name. By the way, Bokkenpotten is Dutch for like goat hooves. So I think it would be a really interesting scene, because at some point, so they would all arrive at the scene to help the people and save them from like these wither skeletons. And at some point, Frost Knight would get into this giant ice cave nearby, because he would see people being attacked here. And so remember the villain force, yeah, we'll just call them the villain force from now. For now, the villain force is also there, but like in small quantities. There's only a few like people that are kind of like leading these wither skeletons with all these weird like mutations and all sort of stuff to attack people. And for example, in this drawing, you can see B. Relis on the left, the guy with the green beard-shaped helmet. Essentially, I haven't made a video about him yet, but he's like he used to be an undercover criminal that had a job at the Hero Force, and he even got somewhat close to the main cast at some point, right? And eventually, Noah Corrales was the one to figure out that he was actually a traitor. And this whole story goes down where eventually he gets half burned to death, sort of like Darth Vader. And then one of the Satanist leaders at the villain force uses a satanic spell to heal him back. But his powers get mixed up in the process, and he sort of turns into a half bee, half human. By the way, his powers are that he can control bees, pretty simple. And then he incorporates it like in his tech suit, so he has like guns that can shoot bees and stuff. So now his powers get even stronger, but he looks even less. He looks way less human, right? So in this cave, Frost Knight would get trapped, and in the meantime, the other heroes would help the other people in the town. So you can kind of see like the town in the distance in the opening in the ice cave. And the reason I say trapped, even though there's an opening, is because he would start getting like flanked from all sides by all these skeletons and like villains trying to attack and murder him probably. And so you can see it's a bit of a bloody scene, even though they're like half-withered skeletons. Essentially what's going on here is a Frost Knight would sort of go mayhem and like use all of his ice powers super strategically to get rid of all the skeletons. And you can kind of see it in the scene as well. It looks very pretty with like the ice crystal on top of the cave that he made to like trap some skeletons in. The light is like shining through from above on the scene, and you can see he's standing on like an ice mountain that he made with like an ice spike that he throws to like monsters in. There's like a monster hand in there, for example, as well. And you can see he's about to like stab one of these skeletons to death, like Doomslayer style. So I think this would be a really cool moment for Frost Knight to shine. Because he would kind of be allowed to use his powers a lot more here, since he's all alone in an ice cave. And it kind of reminds me of that, like that Diamond Head, that Ben 10 alien, in the sense that he would start making a bunch of ice constructs and like walls as shields. Maybe he would even make like ice weapons, and he would just go full power on all of these skeletons and some of the villains as well. And he would single-handedly kill a whole bunch of them. So you can see it's there's blood on the ice and stuff, and you can tell he's kind of like slaughtering them all. So yeah, I thought this would be a really fun moment for this character to shine. I kind of want to give each of the main cast some screen time on their own, because there's like 6 of them, and all of them have such cool, unique powers and like aesthetics. So I thought this would kind of be Frost Knight's episode. And yeah, I really like this scene that I drew for it. Outside of that, I don't really have much else for the plot this episode. After this, well, I mean, you can kind of see in the background in the town that one of the other heroes is running towards him to help him, right? But so essentially they would fight off the attack, and not a lot of people would get hurt because of them, because they were so fast, the heroes. And the villains would retreat with the skeletons, and then they would kind of you would have to see what happens next episode. And they would kind of just go home and maybe like have a big feast. They would maybe like eat a barbecue to kind of celebrate the victory. And that's about it. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say about this episode. Sorry if I sounded a bit nervous, like I said. I'm trying my best to speak well on camera, but sometimes I breathe a little bit too heavily, so sorry for that. If you liked the episode, leave a like. and maybe comment some of your own ideas. And you can expect more uploads, but they generally take a lot of time if I want like good drawings, for example, in the background to give you nice visualization of everything. Because I could also just record myself talking about the episode without any visuals. But this makes it a lot more interesting, so let me know what you think. Alright, that's about it. See you next one. Bye!